Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my studio. This is Paint with Lovejoy. Thanks so much for joining me today. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel and check out my other videos. If this is your second or third or fourth time being here, thanks so much for coming back and getting creative, and thanks so much for your support. In this video, this is going to be perfect for my beginner painters. We're going to get comfortable with mixing the paint and working with the traceable on some of them and getting comfortable with applying a few layers on the canvas. So what you're going to see in the description box below is a link to a supply kit, and in that supply kit is everything that you need for this particular painting. So grab the supplies that you need and then move on to the painting portion. Another thing that you're going to see in the description box below is a link to what I call a traceable. A traceable is a way to get your initial image or composition on your canvas before you even start painting. And it's a nice tool for my first time and beginner painters to utilize. So feel free to check that out. So once you've kind of gotten comfortable with the painting process and you want to take your skills to the next level, check out my online school, paintwithlovejoy.com, and check out my Paint Your Pet class as well as my intermediate and a little more involved classes. Painting's not about being perfect, but it's about kind of building on your skills and getting better with each painting. So keep pushing yourself, keep kind of stepping out of your comfort zone and growing your skills. You're also more than welcome to change out any colors in any of the videos or the paintings that you do. Feel free to make any of these unique to you and make them your own. So trust your instincts. If you're inclined to change out a color, go right ahead and do that. So I think this is probably enough talking. Let's go ahead and jump into the process of painting. Alright guys, this is going to be another fun painting for my beginners. So grab your supplies, transfer your traceable to your surface, and as always, make sure you take your progress photos. Now, after I transferred the traceable to mine, I did go over it with black Sharpie marker. That's what you'll see on the canvas. And that's for my viewers at home that are going to pause the video and draw what they see. If you transfer the traceable, you don't have to do that. All right, and just demonstrated a few different brush strokes. You have full permission to change any of the colors about today's painting. We're going to be filling up the background with the light blue, and that is white with a little bit of blue. And you'll notice that I actually mixed the color a couple of times, so don't feel like you have to mix all of it on the first round. And then here I added a little bit more blue to the mixture. It's going just slightly darker. If you have variations in your background, just kind of work with it, and it is to your benefit to have some different shades in there. It makes it more intriguing. And I am using that large flat brush, and I'm applying the paint rather generously. You'll see on the candles that we actually do 2 rounds of our layers of paint on there because student grade paint is a bit transparent. So feel free to apply your paint a little bit thicker. And now we've moved into just that kind of direct blue, and it is mixing a little bit with the background, the light and medium blue that we already had on there. So I want you to kind of not take this painting too seriously. You can do it kind of fast like I am doing in the video, maybe not as fast as the video, but just get kind of expressive, slap the paint on there. We don't have a whole lot of fine detailed structures on this, but we have the illusion that we've got this kind of nice holiday scene with these red candles. So like I said, feel free to just be kind of expressive with this and just get more through the process of painting and enjoying it rather than having a perfect painting. Now you do want to do anything that you want to your background while the paint is still wet, and you saw that I introduced some white. Now I'm introducing a little bit of blue. This is called wet on wet blending, and again, easier to do it while your background's wet and then you're introducing new wet paint. So get your background to where you want. You can let it dry, and I recommend taking your progress photo. Then we're going to get that first layer of the red on there. And like I said earlier, I'm using student grade paint, so it's a bit transparent, and it is pretty nice once we get that second coat on there, how much more opaque and nicer it looks. So we're basically going to be filling in all of those. And I'll be going right over those traceable lines. If you end up painting something kind of like where the blue went over the foliage, or if your red goes over the foliage or something, don't stress too much about it. Acrylic paint's really nice that you can let the paint dry and then put another color on top of it. Um, so again, this painting does not have to be perfect. This is just something fun, slapping the paint on the canvas and just kind of enjoying the process. You guys are doing great. And for the candles, I did move down to the medium flat brush. And feel free, if you want to switch between your two smallest brushes as we get into more details, go right ahead and do that. So another place to pause your video, you can let your paint dry. We're going to move into the green paint and just get kind of that base color on for the foliage for those holly leaves. And again, you're going to see where I'm rather sloppy with applying the paint, um, but it just makes for kind of a fun, expressive, quick feel painting. I did a keyboard painting that I called Expressive Painting and did it rather fast, and it's been quite popular on the YouTube channel. So in the painting and creative world, you do not have to do every single detail, and you do not have to be perfect at all the details um, to get the feel or the concept or the subject matter to come across to the viewer. And again, it's just fun to literally slap paint on the canvas and be rather expressive. So I encourage you guys to do that for this painting and even some of the other paintings. All right, doing good. And I am applying this green rather thick. If you are finding that you're holding your breath, please take a big inhale, laugh at yourself a little bit, and keep on painting. All right, so now we're moving into the second layer of the red, and this is dry. Um, so it kind of, look how much nicer and more opaque it is with putting that second layer on there. We will do a little bit of shading on these candles. We'll be introducing a little bit of black um, into the red to get a bit of a burgundy color. So keep applying that paint, and like I said earlier, if you need to grab the small pointy brush or the medium flat brush, you can switch back and forth as needed. All right, you guys are doing a great job. I'm really proud of you for painting at home. Like I said, don't take this too seriously and just have fun. The best thing about painting is just kind of escaping the rest of the world for a little bit while you are transforming the white surface of your painting. And if you did not let your foliage dry before you moved into the red, just be a little more controlled and a little more cautious with your brush strokes as you are coming up next to the foliage. All right, so now we're going to grab a tiny, tiny amount of black. A little bit is going to go a long way. And I want you to observe where I place it and then wipe off that brush, the excess paint, and then you can go back and kind of almost like squishing that black into the base of the red. And again, you'll notice that a little bit of pigment goes a long way. You can go back and grab your red, but you're actually better off just wiping off that excess paint on your brush, wipe it off on the paper towel, and then go back to do your blending. And like I said earlier a couple of times, this is rather expressive, so don't spend a whole lot of time on making sure these are perfect. We're going to have some little highlights and wiggle lines on here and just kind of having fun. So I did move down to the pointy brush to kind of almost do that full ellipse on the top of the candles, on the top of these pillars. And as you're working with this, just kind of play with the pressure of your brush. All right, so we're going to move in. The green on my foliage is still a little bit wet, so I'm making a yellow and green mixture, and again, in a very sloppy manner, just kind of putting this lighter color just on a few places on the leaves. Again, it's just giving a hint that we've got a few values in here. We've got some leaves overlapping, but we're not doing the exact design every time. And then taking that yellow and kind of just smearing it into the red, just like we did with the black. And you're going to notice that the lighter colors actually get eaten up really quickly when you do the wet on wet blending. So be generous with the amount of paint, and then just a few brush strokes to squish it into that red base. All right, so now we're going to grab the yellow. We're going to do the flames. I do recommend that you let the red and the black fully dry before you put the flame of the candle on there. And it's almost kind of like a sideways eye shape or teardrop. It could have a little bit more movement to it if you wanted. Totally your call. And now moving back to the pointy brush and black paint and going back through and not necessarily outlining every single piece of the foliage, but maybe a few pieces and overlapping, and again, doesn't have to be exact, maybe a few of the lines down the center, but just trying to give just a little hint that we have that iconic holly with those little points, the little holly leaves, and just giving an illusion. We will do this with white paint later in an even more sloppy manner, and that just lends to an overall kind of loose, expressionist type of style painting. So again, just kind of have fun. You're a 5-year-old, you're painting sloppy, you're slapping the paint on the canvas, just having fun. Perfection does not exist right now. And I'm speaking to my type A personalities out there. This is a good one for you to just let loose on. Even if you throw it away later, it's totally okay. Just get expressive, get painting, focus only on the painting, and just see how much better you feel at the end of your painting session. All right, and going back and putting the wick on each of those candles, and then doing not necessarily a full outline, but just kind of sharpening the left side edge, and we'll get a little bit of the, we'll move it into the white. Yeah, so clean that brush really good. And again, just kind of observe the random placements for the white, the boldness, kind of how quickly I throw it on there. Again, I don't want you taking this too seriously. And because this white is such a nice kind of pop color, it's amazing how much movement and feel and expressiveness these last couple of marks will deliver when we look at it. And as you get into the groove of painting, prop your painting up, look at it from a distance of 5 to 10 feet away. And this is the normal viewing distance for most things in life, and especially artwork. And as you look at it from a distance, if you notice other things that you want to add to it, trust your instincts and go right ahead and add them. Oh yeah, so going back with the red, putting the little holly berries on there. You can add as many or as few as you want. And like I said, add anything extra. If you want to put a message on the top of the canvas or write something, go right ahead and do that. So thank you guys so much for hanging out and painting with me. Don't wait too long to do your next painting. And until then, cheers. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the process of painting, and I hope you are happy with how your paintings turned out. I'm really proud of you for getting creative. As you're uploading these to social media, please tag me at or hashtag paintwithlovejoy, or email me your pictures, paintwithlovejoy@gmail.com. I really enjoy seeing them. I try to post them on social media to encourage other beginner painters to try the process of painting. But please share this with your community as well. Anybody who is kind of scared to paint, share your experience with them and let them know kind of how much you benefited from it and how much you enjoyed the process. So kind of share the fun. With that being said, if you have any comments, questions, feedback, things that you want me to paint in the future, please leave a comment. I try to respond to everybody as quickly as I can. And any of the future suggestions for paintings, I add that to my production list and get to them as quickly as I can. So in the meantime, please keep getting creative. Let me know how you're doing. And until next time, cheers.